Hey, welcome back to the call. All things business. Al Thomas here. I've got a good one for you today. Hope you guys buckled up, got your seatbelts on, because we're going to take a journey about success today. Success. You know, as I look back doing being successful and being doing business for 36 plus years, I've always asked a question, and I did a call earlier for this is my fifth call for the day, but just sharing with people success. Success is if you got notepad pen, go grab it. I'll take a moment when you go grab it. Matter of fact, hit three or four people that you respect and want to help. And matter of fact, leave a comment below as well as subscribe. If you have not subscribed to the channel, you are you're not you need to subscribe. Let's say that. All right. So let's just get on with it. So I'm gonna say a few things. We're gonna get started in just a second. So please hit the notification button, and that way you get update on anything I do and anything I drop, anything new that you need to hear of that's going to bless your life and increase your income. Is going to be there for you. You know, 36 years of doing this, success. I was telling a group early today, a leadership group that I do, and I was telling success is really not that difficult. All right, get your notepads out, write this down. Success is ready. It's going to blow you away. 99% guts, 1% brains. See, we got all mixed up in today's society. All this education, nothing wrong with education. We got to be technical, nothing wrong with being technical, but it's all guts. 99% of success is guts. You know, I recently bought a piece of property recently. Watch this. I got it for $50,000 cheaper. Why? Because of one thing. I asked. I had guts to ask for a reduction. I had guts to ask for a rebate back on top of that to pay my closing costs. I had the guts. It didn't take brains, it was guts. So a lot of us, we get so hung up in that understanding. Guts is what it's after. I remember a few years ago, Mr. Clemens was with me. We were in Cleveland, Ohio for an event. And I said, lunchtime came up. I said, so let's walk around the block. And I want you to record me. And it took me about 45 minutes to walk around the hotel block to corner to corner. And I want you to record me. I'm just going to go out and talk to people. Why does that scare people? It blows my mind. Why does that scare you? Look, if you're married, somebody sold somebody, right? Got a girlfriend, a boyfriend, somebody sold somebody. People rather go to HE double toothpick than sell. SELL. Do you realize everything stopped? It would take the act of Congress or God to put everything back together because everything is revolving around sales and guts. So we walked around the block. And I stopped a couple people, started sharing with them. I just started talking to people. It didn't take brains, it just took guts. And before I walked around the block for 45 minutes, I got 13 or 14 names and numbers just by walking around the block with the camera on me, watching me talk to strangers. Here again, your guts, well, mom and dad, don't talk to strangers, will make you a fortune. Let me give you a tip. I've never met a stranger. I just have never met you yet. Everybody's a friend. I just haven't met you yet. That's my attitude. And that's why I've been super successful over 36 plus years. And that's been my attitude every day. The other day, my battery in my car ran out. You know, I was out taking my walk, went back to it, wouldn't start. AAA came out. And guess what? I started talking to the guy about what I do. It was guts, not brains. So we're going to talk about that today. You know, people think, you know, don't have the guts to say hello to people. Let me tell you, the first word to baby, and here's why we think that way. We think that we got to be a salesman. We think it's undignified. We think, ugh. No, guts is so important. Most successful people that are successful have a lot of guts. They'll do things that the average person will not do. Not that they're smarter, they just got more guts. You know, people think the word no. Oh, the first word a baby learns is the word no. No this, no, no, no. You know, why are you so afraid of a no? Successful people will take a no and we'll flip it upside down. It means on to the next person. On to the next person. Don't take it emotional. Don't get emotional about it. Don't withhold. No, let it go and keep moving. You know, I was watching a documentary the other day about, you know, I live in Vegas. So I was watching a documentary on Binion, one or two people I want to talk about tonight. And you know what? He didn't care about what people said about no's. So I took a couple notes. I want to read them to you tonight about Binion, who owned the Binion Casino here in Vegas. Now, listen to this story. He had guts. He was called the Cowboy. He built Las Vegas with guts and gunpowder. That's what he's known for. Guts. That's right. Guts and gunpowder. He started in North Texas, and his name was Lester Ben Binion, born in 1904, and in Pilot Grove, Texas. He was too weak and sick to go to school. So his dad was an avid gambler and hustler. So he took him on the road with him to show him the ropes of how to be a hustler and how to control gambling. And next thing you know, he had to leave Texas. And then he started doing moonshine and gambling. And then he moved to Vegas. And I mean, actually, before he left there, he had the judges in his pocket. He placed on his payroll. That's right, in a little old small town called Pilot Grove, Texas. And when a new sheriff came to town, he had to move. Because why? It was time to go. But he had guts. In 1946, he came to Vegas and started running Vegas. In 1951, he bought the El Dorado Club and also the Apache Club, and he turned it into a place called Binion's. And then think about that, Binion's. Binion's is still there. Now, he did so well with Binion's that what he did decide to do, he decided to do something different. Other casinos in town, which the limits on the tables were $500. He had the guts to say, I'm going to go 5,000, 10,000. And others freaked out like he's crazy. He had guts. Then what he did, the unthinkable, he put a no limit, unlimited policy on his limits at his casino, the Binion's. One guy came in there with a suitcase. I don't know if it's true or not. I heard with $1 million, placed it on one roll on the roulette table, and lost it all. Binion walked over and shook his hands. Now watch this. He said, I'll guarantee the first bet. Now watch this. The rest of them I don't know about, but the first one, so it took guts. Matter of fact, the Binion Hotel is known for the $1 million in the casing with the horseshoe over it. And guess what? 75,000 people a day would go through there to look at it, just to take pictures. It took guts, folks. It took guts. It took guts. And he did something else that people thought he was crazy on. He started the World Series of Poker. Most people don't realize this. He started the World Series of Poker, and with 7 people and a few $1,000s. And now it's worldwide now. But here again, it took guts. 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 And that's what I'm saying. It took guts. Matter of fact, what he did, he took $7 million. I mean, I'm sorry. He decided to sell out. Before he sold out, he died, and his family took over, and they ran into the ground. But what I'm saying about, here's a pioneer that didn't get past 6th grade, and now he left a landmark here in Vegas. Powerful, powerful. I'm gonna talk about another pioneer here in Vegas that took guts. Mr. Allison. Mr. Allison was amazing. Shelton Gary Allison. Yeah, he had a big ego, but he had a lot of guts. He built the convention center before convention centers were even around. I didn't even realize this. He put the first one in Vegas. They said, oh, it's not going to work. Nobody's going to come here for conventions. Oh, he's crazy. It took guts to stand out from the crowd. What kind of guts are you displaying? He was born August 4th of 1933 in Dorchester, Boston. His dad drove taxis. His mother did a business from the house with knitting. And he got to the age of 12. He decided, I'm not going to go any further. At 12, I'm leaving. I'm not going to go past 6th grade. I'm done. I'm done with school. They can't teach me nothing. He was a Jewish guy, lived in a neighborhood full of Irish people. He said every day he had to fight his way going to school, and he got tired of that. At 12 years old, he borrowed $200 from his Uncle Al to get a newspaper license in Boston to sell newspapers on the street. Now watch this. At 12 years old, did that take guts? How many 12-year-olds thinking that way today? And by the way, he paid his uncle back the money in no time. And his uncle said this, and I quote, "The way you conduct the rest of your life will depend upon how you handle this business." And he said it held on to him. And guess what? It changed his life forever. What? It was just guts, just guts, just guts. At the age 15 years old, he borrowed $10,000 to buy a vending machine business And it didn't take long for him to hit jackpot. In 1960s, he charted a business and made $1 million in charting businesses. And he lost it all. In 1970, he made his second $1 million in real estate. Market changed. He lost it all. At the age of 40, he started 50 different businesses. Now think about this, 50 different businesses. Most people stopped at one business. Oh, it didn't work. Two businesses. Oh, definitely ain't gonna do nothing else. Three businesses. I'm gonna go get a job. He did 50. It takes guts. And he displayed that. My hero. In 1971, he started another idea. He was on a flight and he saw a computer magazine that gets started up. He goes, and he's not a nerd, but he said, wow, this is amazing. He saw business in that. He started a company called Compaq. Think about it, at the MGM. In 1979, he had over 4,000 people come through, 167 vendors, and he charged them $50 a square foot. He was paying only 15, big profit margin. He did so well, they opened up and started the Las Vegas Convention Center. I had no idea. And they said he was crazy. It took guts. As I dug more into his history of what he did, he had 40 different trade shows around the United States, but Vegas was the largest one. He grossed over, listen to this, over $100 million in a year, per year, on an idea. And you know what's crazy? He doesn't even know how to turn on a computer. What does that got to do with talent? Zero. What does that got to do with brains? Zero. It took guts. At age 62, he bought the Sands Hotel and the Convention Center, and he built the Convention Center right next door as he leveled the Sands and built the Convention Center. In 1990, he built the Convention Center next door to the Sands. And everybody laughed at him. So, that's not going to work. No, who's going to come to Vegas in the middle of the week? It's a weekend town. But he saw an opportunity to fill up his hotel rooms during the week when the attendance was low. It took guts. And not only did he do so well, but guess what happened? After all the other hotels laughed at him and saw success, MGM opened up a center. Caesar opened up a center. And the Wynn Hotel opened up one. But it took him to be the first to do it because it took guts. You know, the Venetian came up in May 3rd of 1999. He spent $1.5 billion on the Venetian. They said, oh, that's not going to work. Everybody laughed at him. A gondola in here. I mean, you know, water up here and boats and ships, high and tide. No, it's not going to work. And now everybody's trying to copy him because it took guts. It took guts. Then he went to Macau. Saw some shrinking land that was shrunk. I mean, was just needed to be built up in swampland. He bought it and he built the Macau Hotel, and everybody laughed at him. And you know what? He spent $265 million to build it. And the first year he made every dime back. Listen to me. The first year he made every dime back. It took guts. The rest is all profit. He wanted to make multi billions of dollars. And you know, the funny thing is, as I look back on his history, this man did something different that most people never even think about doing. And they laughed at him. And then what blew me away, which I didn't know until yesterday, in Singapore, he built the Marina Bay Sands in Singapore. You know, the one with those three pillars that look like a surfboard on top? He built that. I had no idea. That year, he was the 4th wealthiest person in the world. I had no idea. He had guts. And before he passed away, he built schools, his pilot programs, health clinics. He built to his beloved Israel, sending kids back there on his private plane, medical research, Las Vegas newspaper. He bought the Las Vegas Review Journal. I had no idea he did that either. You know, let me tell you something about this guy. When you fly into Vegas, if you look to the left, you see those white planes with three blue stripes on them. There's a fleet of them still out there today. Big old 740 jumbo jets, a couple of DC-10s. He also got a couple of Cessnas and a lot of Gulfstreams, about maybe 18 10, 12 planes out there. His fleet, his fleet, his fleet. Politics, donated to a lot of the millions of dollars. I'm not going to say the names of the people he donated to because I'm just not going to do that. But he had guts. And you know what? I was privileged to go to his house a couple times. My daughter and his son went to the same school, the private school here in Vegas. And he would host a lot of things at his home. I mean, this home was like, I don't know, 50, 60,000 square feet. Matter of fact, his house was so big, he had the Israeli police living downstairs one of the floors to protect him, because that's how important he was. With a man that started with nothing but an idea and guts. Ladies and gentlemen, what kind of guts are you having today? What kind of things you say you want to do, but you never done? Think about it. Man, I am so grateful every morning I get up because I have lived maybe 10 people's lifetimes, and I'm blessed because I've seen the world, 29 countries. I've lived different places. I drove what I wanted. I'm blessed, no doubt about it. And all that I confirm it to or give credit to because I had the guts to get off my assets and go do what I wanted to go do. And there's nothing stopping any of you in the world. You are the greatest asset is you. It's what's between your left ear and the right ear is called your brain. And not only that, you got to put it into motion. You got to put it into motion. Smart people, they always tell you what shoulda, coulda, but they don't put anything into action. I gave you Binion, put things into action. I gave you Ultimate, put things into action. And that's just here in Vegas. I'm uncovering some of the wealthiest people here in Vegas, like all it took was guts and a burning desire to go after their dreams. I mean, if I can leave you with anything today, don't talk the talk, walk the walk. Don't talk the talk, walk the walk. Success is 99% guts, 1% brain. I've taken people out to go get names and numbers because I just love it. I love talking to people. Nobody's a stranger, haven't met you yet. It only takes guts to me to walk up to somebody and say hi. The 1% of the brain is conversation. It's guts. There's people out there I know I can feel some of the guys, but there's a lady I want to talk to. I don't know what to say because you don't have any guts. Walk up and say hello, hi, whatever. But the whole idea, same thing with women. It's just guts. So if I could say this in closing, do not let your guts slow you down to getting what you want to go in life. I've always contributed to my success. I've always contributed that way because it's got me where I'm at today. And I am so grateful, trust me, grateful and thankful that I had the guts to get off my rear end and go create my wealth for me and my family. That is so important to go do. And I'm not here. Hey, some of you, hey, I know you got a job. Hey, what if you put 1 or 2 hours in a business around your schedule for gutnessness, to go out to do something, to go build something outside of the job, to go build something. Most people start everything part-time around their schedule. But do you have the guts to stick with it? Do you have the guts to go out there and do it every day? I've got a group I'm challenging to go get 3 names and numbers every day. You know, it's not that difficult. It just takes guts, not brains, guts. So I'm going to end the call on this. Success, if you haven't written it down yet, is 99% guts, 1% brains. And I contribute to my success to nothing but having the guts to do more and to get better as I do it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my pleasure. I hope you got a blessing out of this today. So here again, success is 99% guts, 1% brain. Remember, don't take any brains for up high. It takes guts. It takes guts to get out your comfort level. It takes guts to go past what you already done. It takes guts to put a real sheet up of my goals, what I want to accomplish. It takes guts to go after it. Not brains, it's guts. I know a lot of people got smarts, but got no guts. And they always look back, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Well, go do something. Get off your assets, go do something. Guts. Now I appreciate that. I admire a man or a woman that got guts. I admire a person who go after their dreams. Not people that say, well, coulda, shoulda, but at my job, we all have the same amount of hours a day. I've got 24, you got 24. It's what you do with it. And what if you start a little business for 3 hours a day, part-time around your schedule? That's it. And stick with it. Have the guts to hang in there to get where you want to go. Last thing I'm going to give you today. You must be like a postage stamp. A what? A postage stamp. What do you mean? Postage stamp, right here. The thing about a postage stamp, what I admire about a postage stamps, you can put a postage stamp on a letter. And you know what the funny thing is? That stamp will stick in there till it gets to its destination. I never thought about that. Oh yeah, they're committed. That postage stamp is committed to get that letter to its destination. I hope you get committed to what you say to get to your destination on your dreams and goals with guts. Have the guts to hang in there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time today. Take care. God bless. Do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Send this out to at least 7 people and have them subscribe and have them watch it over and over. And some of you just don't watch it once. Watch it 2 or 3 times. Take notes on it. Then ask yourself, what am I shy from? Where is my guts? What is my desire? Let me go after it. Why not? And then just don't watch this once. Watch it once a day for the next week or so. Just keep watching and watch your guts go up and up and up and your fear factor go down and down and down. All fear is false education appearing real. Where? Right here. That's all fear is. But the 1%ers have guts. And you have that much guts and commitment, fear just flees from you. Quit doubting yourself because God doesn't make junk. Thank you so much for joining today. Remember, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment below. We thank you for your time. Take care. God bless, and always. We'll see you at the top. Always see you over the top. Have a blessed